I'm Guoping Feng. I'm professor of neuroscience at the McGovern Institute for Brain Research, and also at Yantan Collective, and also in the Department of Brain Cognitive Science at MIT. And my research is focused on understanding how neurons develop connections in the brain, and how the dysfunction of the connections or their function or structure contribute or lead to neurodevelopmental disorders and psychiatric disorders. We are particularly focused on autism spectrum disorders and psychiatric disorders like schizophrenia and depression. In our brain, human brain, there are 80 billion neurons. This is an amazing organ. And unlike liver, kidney, other tissues, cells can function autonomously. That means they work on their own mostly. But in brain, neurons don't work alone. They have to make connections. They have to talk to each other. For example, I raise my hand. There will be neurons in many brain regions connect from one to another to your spinal cord, then to your muscle, tell which muscles to contract, which muscle to relax, so you can raise your hand. So they make very significant connections. We call it circuits or networks. And these connections, they transduce signal from one neuron to another. And the apparatus transduces this signal, we call it synapse. So you can know from this, you basically can tell these are the building blocks of neuron-neuron communication. It's the building block of our brain function. So we knew this is really important for many decades. But in the last about 20 to 30 years, because of genomic technology, genomic sequencing technology, we can sequence a lot of patients and to see, including neurodevelopmental disorders, psychiatric disorders, to see what genes, what genetic mutations are contributed or linked to the disease. We found that, not my lab, but scientists all over the world found that many of these genes that are linked to the psychiatric disorder or neurodevelopmental disorders are actually encoding proteins that are important for the either development, function, or plasticity of synapses, which means the connection between the neurons. One neuron sends a signal to another neuron, so the neuron, the terminal sends a signal, we call the presynaptic terminal. The neuron receives signal, we call the postsynaptic terminal. And both are very important. But from the molecular point of view, postsynaptic has probably 10 times more proteins and genes to help build the respond or function or change. So because of sheer number, and also because of the importance of the transducing signal to the next neuron, so we have many more genes that are found to be linked to brain disorders in the postsynaptic site.